Hello, this is Paul Bergin from the Mars Hill blog, which you can find at www.paulbergin, paulbergin.blogspot.co.uk. And one of the vlogs I'm doing of late are reviews of various albums that I have in my collection. This week it's the Blues Brothers, the soundtrack to the film, which came out in 1980, starred John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd. Classic. If you haven't seen it, please, if you get a chance to. But the soundtrack is something in its own merit. I mean, it is a musical number of sorts, so it does carry its own weight. So let's have a look. It's got that kind of tight bluesness, but also very 70s, even though it's 1980, late 70s, early 80s sound, which I think merits it. That's more, I think, towards the studio sound and the sort of machine recording they had rather than the band. But even so, the band are very good. And John Belushi was a brilliant singer in his own right. I think, if he hadn't gone into comedy and acting, he would have made a fantastic lead singer of a rock band or blues band even. So first one, She Caught the Katy, brilliant bluesy number with John Belushi as Jake. Peter Gunn theme from original theme to a old TV series with music by Henry Mancini, fairly good. What I think is the best track, one of the best tracks on the album, Give Me Some Loving. John Belushi and the Blues Brothers band really rip on that. They really take that song by the Spencer Davis Group from 1966. It's somewhere else. It really is fantastic. Shake Your Tail Feather. When I was at North Huts College doing performing arts about 25 years ago, we did this kind of musical thing, and it ended with us doing the dance routine from Shake Your Tail Feather, which has Ray Charles, Everybody Needs Somebody to Love, which is a Blues Brothers classic. Great audience participation number, and it is true, everybody does need somebody to love. The Old Landmark, the gospel song with James Brown as a preacher, and that's a good one. Think, a re-recording of the Aretha Franklin classic, and the theme from Rawhide, sung well by Dan Aykroyd as Elwood Blues, with occasional vocal participation by John Belushi as Jake Blues. In the film, it's set at a country and western, and they sort of slip in as a blues band. And one of my favourite lines in the film is when John Belushi as Jake asks one of the proprietors, "What kind of band music do you have here?" "Oh, we got two kinds. We got country and we got western." So there's that. Minnie the Moocher, the old Cab Calloway classic, sung by the man himself, and in the film in a rare acting role as Curtis, who helps bring up the boys in the orphanage. Jake and Elwood. Sweet Home Chicago. The one time in my life I was in Chicago, I mean, whenever I hear that now, I always remember that week I spent in that great city, and it's a brilliant song. I love it. It's a long ending, but it's about 7 minutes long, but the 4-minute instrumental is worth it as much as the vocals from Belushi and Aykroyd. And John Belushi does a brilliant version of Elvis's Jailhouse Rock. It's a good one to go out of. So if you ever do get this album, it's a classic Blues Brothers soundtrack. Do get a chance. It should still be in, pine around your local record CD shops online. Do have a look. It's a brilliant one, and have a good evening. Cheers.